The co-captains for the Richmond Football Club for 2022 are Dylan Grimes and Toby Nankervis.
Yeah, so Nank summed it up perfectly just before. He said there's a little bit about this that we find pretty daunting, but there's a big part about this that we're just incredibly excited about. So unbelievably honoured and humbled by the support that you guys have shown us, and also Trent in stepping down, and what you've already given us as leaders has been immense. So
yeah, as big shoes to fill, obviously, but me and Grimes are up for the challenge and just going to attack it. Make some mistakes along the way, but we're up for the fight, and I can't wait to continue the journey we're on.
Oh, this would have warmed the hearts. I hate to speak on behalf of Richmond supporters, but I'm going to. I reckon it would have warmed the hearts of Tiger faithful out there to see Toby. Well, I thought it was Toby Nankervis, but apparently, according to Brendan Gale, it's Nankervis.
Well, we
Toby
need to clarify.
Nankervis, the co-captain of the Richmond Football Club, not Dylan Grimes, Toby
Nankervis.
Nankervis or Nankervis. Congratulations, mate.
Oh, no, thanks for that. I really appreciate that. I did know it's a big cheese. Nankervis there. I haven't heard that for a while, actually.
It's definitely Nankervis, isn't it?
I think it's Nankervis, yeah.
Right. Hey, mate, congratulations. It's magnificent. How big a... Well, was it a surprise to you that we actually got to the point where the playing group in the club arrived at this position for you?
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise, to be honest. I think, it's certainly not something that I've seeked out, and probably never thought I'd get the opportunity to do it, to be honest. But, probably over the last, since the pre-season, I've sort of had more conversations about it, and some that sort of popped up a little bit. And I've always said, this year that if I had the backing of the footy club and the players, especially my teammates, I'd be happy to do it. But, it was a surprise a little bit getting the nod, but it's something that I'm actually quite confident I can do. I'm well resourced, especially at the footy club. I've got so much great support there to definitely have a crack at it.
Toby, good afternoon. Andrew Gaze here. Congratulations on the appointment. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of everything, I just want to... Andy and I were having a discussion.
This will be a test. This is an early test for the captain, yes.
Do you have an issue with Sydney Stack diving into a rock pool from about 5 metres? Is there any problems do you see with that?
I've seen that popped up this morning. I think we had some vision of Dimmer jumping off a rock in Brighton. I'd rather see Stacky jump than Dimmer and the Chief off in the speedos from a rock in Brighton. But no issue at all. I think our players we encourage all players to go out and have lives away from footy, and I have no problem with seeing Stacky do that.
Just on that, Toby, is the whole balance of, live your life, do what's good for your mental health and a release and all of those things that everybody needs to get a healthy work-life balance and all of that sort of stuff. How often is it stress to you guys, fellas, do stuff that doesn't put you in a position where you might get injured?
Yeah, no, definitely. There is. You never want to put yourself in any chance of missing any footy or training or whatnot. But it is so important to get away from footy and find outlets. But I don't think Stacky was in any danger there, jumping into the water. But it is so important to get away from footy and have outlets.
What do you do? What's your to get away from the game?
Pretty bad golfer, but I'm addicted to it. I love getting out on the course as much as I can. And me and Nathan Broad are actually, I've got about 6 months left of our carpentry little apprenticeship, so looking forward to ticking that off as well.
Hey, Toby, when it comes to leadership at a football club, I assume, maybe rightly or wrongly, that the coach is the head leader. He's the head of the pack that's got to get it done. And interesting reading the paper today that Damien Hardwick was... he was going through some tough times personally. You guys weren't doing as well as what you had liked. And he felt that, he wasn't performing to his very best, but was grateful for the way in which the players were getting around him and helping through this period. Were you one of those players? And also, how do you get around the coach?
I think as a collective last year, we weren't performing as we would have liked. And I think that's largely from the playing group. We just weren't playing the style of footy we would have liked. But obviously the head coach does cop a lot of criticism and a lot of flack unfairly, I think. But yeah, I think as a playing group, we just reiterated that we have so much trust in Dimmer, and we absolutely love playing for him, and I have so much confidence in him as a coach, and he's got such a great person, Dimmer, as well.
And the co-captaincy arrangements, have you got to a point where you figure out those roles, or is that something you learn on the fly? Is there something specific that you have to do as compared to what Dylan is doing?
It's one of those things I think we'll learn as we go, and still so fresh for both of us, but we are different people and probably have different strengths and weaknesses, and I'm looking forward to nutting that out over the next few weeks, especially leading into the round one. But I'm looking forward to obviously growing some areas that have weaknesses, and supporting Grindy, and as well as leaning on him to get some support off him. So I think it's something we'll learn on the fly, but couldn't be happy to have Grindy alongside me, and I can't wait to get stuck into it with him.
Talking to co-captain of the Tigers, Toby Nankervis, how did the vote come about, Toby? How was it arrived at that you two were going to be the two co-captains?
Yeah, so it was, as I said, it's been a pretty drawn-out process, and it sort of started with our leadership group, and just looking at what characteristics on and off field we want from our captains, and from that, taking it to the playing group and the coaches and the footy staff, and I suppose coming to a list of players that they wanted to see do the role, and from that just do a formal vote. But I'm not too sure how the votes went. I haven't seen obviously the results from it, but I think me and Grindy might have been pretty close, and I think it's great from the footy club to be open to having both of us do the role, and I'm certainly grateful to have Grindy.
No doubt. Who told you about once the votes had been tallied up? Who passed on the message that you'd been voted in?
Yeah, a leadership sort of coach, I suppose, Shane McCurry. He's been absolutely unbelievable throughout the last 5 or 6 years since I've been at the footy club. He's been a massive part of our culture of the footy club, and he sort of had a chat to us on Saturday morning, and to be honest, my head was spinning for a little bit on Saturday morning, and it was great to get some time over the weekend, a day off, to just reflect on, I suppose, the process of it, and just to let it sink in a little bit.
Trent Cotchin was a very, very good captain, I think, because of the record. But also, it seemed like that, I don't know, it was exclusively from him, but you were changing the mould. Seeing you guys before a game, you have a bit of a laugh in the vision we'd see in the locker room. It wasn't all this stern sort of rah-rah type stuff. It seemed like that there was this real emphasis on enjoying the moment and having fun. Now, is that something that with your style that you'd like to continue that, or is that something different from coming from the captains?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Coach has really encouraged everyone on the list over the last 4 or 5 years since I've been in the club to just be yourself and bring your personality to the group. And I think by Coach having that lighter side, he made everyone feel really safe. And when you're going out to a game of footy, feeling happy and really enjoying your company, your teammates, you're feeling safe, I think that's when you perform your best. And we've found that, especially over the last 4 or 5 years, I think. And I definitely want to continue that. As I said previously, massive shoes to fill with Koch, but me and Grindy obviously can't be Trent Cotchin, but I suppose we'll have to do it our way. But I definitely love that side of Koch. Real light, made everyone feel safe.
So, Toby, 4 exceptional seasons, 3 flags in that run. Of course, the history is going to have that footy team that you've been such a big part of as one of the great modern football teams that the game's ever seen. Not what you would have hoped for last year, 9 wins, 12th at the end of the season. Why will you bounce again? What is it about your group that makes you confident that you'll be back in the mix again this season?
Yeah, it's a great point. I think, the young kids coming in have actually added so much to our group, and their enthusiasm, the way they've come in and trained and really brought into our system, it's been great to watch. And I think the Tiger fans will love seeing our new kids at the footy club. And we've had a really healthy list, massive pre-season over the course of the last few months, and training standards, I think, are really good. I think every team would be probably saying that. But, yeah, it's really, for us, it's not about looking to any outcomes at the end of this season. It's just about getting back to playing footy. We know we can play, and because we know that stacks up. And it's a fun way to play as well. So we'll be looking to do that over the next couple of weeks, leading into more competitive JLT games in round one.
And pretty significant turnover on the list. Some really integral players in your premiership successes are no longer there. A couple of young players at the footy club who you're expecting big things of have taken advantage of offers elsewhere and free agency and aren't at the footy club. Does it feel, just sort of a two-parter really, does it feel like a distinctly different group that you're part of this year? And also, Robbie Tarrant coming in, what sort of impact do you think he might have come game day throughout the season?
Yeah, it's funny. Probably like a massive turnover, as you said. Players like Dave Asprey and Bashir Hooley are just such great clubmen and great leaders, and they'll be left massive holes. But I think the young kids coming in, and I think the more mature senior players are such a great call for the footy club and still playing great footy. I'm really confident in the list, as you said. But it has changed a little bit dynamic. But it's really looking forward to seeing what so I can do this year.
And just on Robbie, No, you go.
Yeah, just with Taz coming in, he I don't think he's missed a session. He's been completed a whole pre-season. He's super fit, super competitive, and the backs absolutely love playing with him. He's going to fit in really well, and he's a nightmare to play on at training. So I'm looking forward to not playing on him anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Hey, Toby, one of the great things of watching you guys over the last 4 or 5 years, it's a very distinctive brand of football that you guys play, highly entertaining and obviously very successful. What are you guys making any sort of significant changes given what happened last year to the actual way you played, despite some of the personnel changes that Andy was referring to?
Yeah, well, I think you might see a few little subtle changes. Largely our style will be the same, I think. But, I think you'll see some subtle changes. And we've had a full pre-season issue to implement a few new subtle changes, as I said, to the game plan. But I think largely, hopefully you'll see the Richmond brand that's held us in good stead over the last 4 or 5 years.
And Dustin Martin, they say
that bloke,
he lost about anywhere between 40 kilos, and is something.
How much?
Well, some people say
40.
Something outrageous. Now,
40
I don't
kilos.
Mate, he had a lacerated kidney.
He had to lose a leg to lose 40 kilos.
Well, that was probably exaggerated. That's why I thought we'd get asked the question and see exactly where he's at, because some of the photos, he does look a little leaner, Andy. How's he travelling?
Right.
Yeah, he's as you said, it's a pretty serious injury for Dustin. I sort of think it went under the radar how really serious that was. But, he's back to looking really fit and healthy at the moment. He looks really strong. He's been training really well, so he's back to contact training at the moment. And, it'd be handy to have number 4 back running around. I think we certainly missed Dustin the back half of last year. And I think it would be really good for him to he'd be really fresh and be round to go, no doubt, knowing Dustin round one.
Oh, Toby, it's a famous footy club, and you've been part of one of its great eras, and the roll call of captains at the Richmond Footy Club is some of the giants of the history of Australian rules football, let alone leagues like the VFL and the AFL. It's magnificent honour to have your name alongside all the rest of them. Thoroughly deserved. Thanks for coming on the show, mate, and having a chat to us. We wish you all the very best. Well done.
No worries at all. Thanks, Murray. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for having me on.
Good on you. Toby Nankervis.
Good on you.
Toby Nankervis.
No, it's Nankervis.
Of course it is. What the hell's Brendan Gale thinking?
They're slipper tongues.
No. He likes to do it his way.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no, he does.
I butcher names left, right,
no,
so
you
I
don't.
have
No,
great
you.
sympathy.
No.
Yes, I
no,
do.
you don't. You're flawless in that regard.
Oh, thanks.
Magnificent. That chat thanks to Melbourne Outdoor Living Show. Don't miss the Melbourne Outdoor Living Show this weekend. Kane West. Tickets at outdoorlivingshow.com.
Andy Maha.
.au.